For my student engagement blog, I'm using a technology tool called Blooket. It is a newer technology tool, but it is suddenly becoming popular to use in classrooms, and you could really use it for all grade levels, all ages. It is similar to Kahoot in the sense that you create questions for students to answer, but it has some added features that take student engagement to a whole new level where they answer these questions to earn coins and gold and supplies and materials for a game they are playing. Now the teacher can host a game where they play with each other, with their peers. And when they do it that way, you can steal coins from each other and gold. It just takes it to a whole new level, and students get really engaged in the activity. However, I'm going to play a game solo today just to show you how it kind of works. But the way that they advance through the game is by answering the questions that you set up. So this is an activity I created. It's a math activity for area and perimeter. You can use this with any content level because the teacher creates the questions. So I'm going to play solo. This is similar. So if you were going to host a game, this same thing would happen. You would choose which game students are going to play. I'm going to play the cafe game, and I'm going to play a new game. And here we go. I have to feed my customers some food. Oh, there's one and he needs a piece of toast, but I don't have a piece of toast. So to restock food, I have to answer some questions. Sarah has a piece of fabric that is 8 inches long and 6 inches wide. What is the area of Sarah's piece of fabric? Well, I have to find the area. So the answer is 48 inches. I get it correct. I earn food to feed my customers. I can keep earning food. Gail has a piece of wood that's 9 inches long, 9 inches wide. What's the perimeter? 36. Oh, I earn more. Now, as you advance through the game and answer more questions, you earn money, and you unlock more types of food. So the great part about this is how engaging it is for students. For the Create Excellence framework for real world learning, I gave it a 2. Students don't actually simulate the real world, but you can see the questions created are related to the real world. Finding the area and perimeter of wood of a piece of fabric, there's questions about pizza, playgrounds, a farm. All of that is real world topics, and finding the area and perimeter of those topics. Of course, this rating for real world learning could change depending on the questions that the teachers create. But for this particular activity, I scored it at a 2. For cognitive complexity, I scored it at a level 1, simply because this particular activity is more of a review activity, an activity that a teacher may use before a test just to review those math skills. Again, depending on the questions asked by the teacher and depending on how the teacher creates it, the cognitive complexity could change. But for this particular activity, students were working at a lower level of Bloom's to answer questions. Student engagement, I rated at a level 3 because according to the Create Excellence framework, a level 3 means students have a choice for task. And Blooket is an excellent resource because it allows students to choose the games they play, which means they get the same questions that you give them, but they get to choose which game they interact with. The tasks are also differentiated. The teacher has the ability to assign different questions to different students, even if they're playing the same game together. That way, based on their academic abilities, you can assign questions tailored to specific students. And for technology integration, for this, I gave it a 1 for this activity because they are working at a lower level of Bloom's. And technology is an add-on. Technically, they could answer these questions without the technology. However, they get that engagement part with the game and the answering the questions. But since it's a lower level of Bloom's that they're using the technology for, I rated it at a level 1. Of course, these ratings could all be different depending on the questions that you choose. Let's go back to the game. You can see I let it run out, but once it goes through or you're done, You are scored in a place. It gives you the accuracy. Well, you earn tokens. You get to click a token multiplier. You can see I'm getting bonuses. And these stay with students. So if they come to play a Blooket game later in the week, they still have those tokens they can use. So it's like it just keeps going. And the beautiful part is teachers have the ability to see, similar to Kahoot, what questions each student got correct, what questions each student got wrong, and they can assess in this way if they need to. Students are super engaged in this task, and they really love to play these games. All of the games are engaging. I just showed you the cafe game. And like I said, you can tailor it depending on how you need it. The questions are made by the teachers and they're pushed out to the students. The beautiful part is you also have the ability to search for Blookets that are already created if you need to. So you can create your own or search for more. But it is a technology tool that is surfacing in classrooms and just taking off because students are loving it. And you are incorporating content questions in a fun way to where they have to answer the questions to play the game, and they really enjoy it.